How's it going? My name is Phil Torino. I want to do a quick sort of impromptu video on how to record from the X32 soundboard. You have the X-USB card on the back that allows you to run 32 tracks through a USB cable to your computer. I want to show you how to get those 32 tracks onto your computer and record it. It requires a little bit of setup. What you want to do on the board is go to your routing, and in routing you want to go over to where it says card out. I'm going to move over to the computer screen here. I'll minimize this a second. Okay. So when you're looking at this card out, it shows outputs 1 through 8. What they're talking about is the outputs on the X-USB card. So basically the first 8 channels over that USB cable. You can select where it gets the information for those channels from. If I pick local 1 through 8, it's going to take what's on those first 8 preamps on the back of the board and put them on the first 8 channels on the USB card. All right. If I was to go down and select 9 through 16, it would take preamps 9 through 16 on the board and place them on channels 1 through 8 on the USB. So in a lot of cases, you would just have local 1 through 8, local 9 through 16. If you're running a digital snake, you might have AES 50 1 through 8. If you're using some of your auxes and you want to get, say, like an iPod or some kind of other media that you're feeding into the board and it's not coming through an XLR cable, you have it coming into one of the auxes and you want to get that on the recording, you can select aux 1 through 6 and it'll take these 6 channels over here and put them on the board. The monitor channels, it'll also feed into there, or you can do talkback channels. I don't know why you'd want to do P16 channels. I guess there are some applications for that. But yeah, there are a lot of different things that you can select to put on that USB cable. All right, you have 32 channels to and from the board. So once you have this card out page configured the way you want it, you also got to make sure that on your computer you have your X-USB driver. All right, first page will look something like this. Second page, your buffer settings. I usually have it set to safe 2048, so kind of right in the middle there. Where you can go to find this information, let me see right over here. If you Google Behringer X32 Music Group is the name of the company that bought Behringer along with Midas and a bunch of other Clark, a whole bunch of different companies, and kind of merge their technology together. The umbrella company is called Music Group. So I put that in there, and what comes up, one of the first things here is mmusictribe.com. So I'll go and click on that. And when I click there, you have products up here. I'll click on that. Try again. Seems to be lagging a little bit. Okay, there we go. Click on the X32 board, and you have up here is downloads. What you can grab on the downloads page, you have images, manuals, applications like this X32 app that I'm running here, the X32 Edit, firmware for the board, and you also have the drivers, the ASIO drivers for the X-USB. So you can get access to all of that on this website right here. All right, so once you have your driver set up and the board set up on the computer, you'd probably be using some kind of digital audio workstation. For me, I'm using Studio One. One of the first things that you want to do is make sure that on your digital audio workstation you're using the correct sound card, which if you have the drivers installed, it should show up on here. Usually mine, when I don't have the USB cable plugged in, it defaults to Windows Audio. But when you have the USB cable plugged in and the board's on, you should be able to select X-USB, and it'll let you apply the settings there, and click OK. We'll go create new song, empty song. This way you get to see how this is set up. I'm going to go down here to mix because I need to get at settings for input and output for the digital audio workstation. All right, and I find those over here in this corner. When I click on that, it brings up a screen like this. What I want to do at this point, you can see all the different inputs from the X-USB card. All right, there are 32 of them up here. What I want to do is I want to create corresponding inputs for the digital audio workstation. So what I'm going to do is add inputs. I'm going to get rid of these guys right here, left and right. We don't want that. So I'm going to put input there and just keep clicking until I get down to my 32 inputs. All right, and there we have it. So now that I have my 32 inputs, click apply. And if you ever want to do what's called a virtual sound check, you're also going to want to set up outputs in a similar way. And you have to create buses for each one of your channels that you've recorded and send those buses to the outputs. And this is how you'd get it onto the X-USB card and send it back to the board. You'll also have to mess around with some of the routing on the board to do that, but I don't want to get into that at the moment. Mainly what we're doing is looking at how to get a recording onto digital audio workstation from the X-USB card. All right, so now that we have that set up, we just have to create tracks for each of the inputs. So I can do, yeah, this is kind of convenient. I can do add tracks for all inputs. And then I have all my tracks here. I'd probably go through and highlight each one of them. Okay, because I want to take off this monitor. I do want to leave the record though. All right, and at this point, really all I have to do in order to start recording is hit the record button down here. And it should start picking up everything off the X-USB. And that's it.